Record. All right, good. So today, with God's help, we learned the Devar Malchut and doing what we can to bring Mashiach, and thinking about Mashiach, and talking about Mashiach, giving charity, learning about Mashiach. We learned that. Then we learned the Haftorah, the last chapter, last paragraph of the book of Amos, where he promises that the Jews are going to come back to the land of Israel and everything is going to be wonderful. Now we're going to learn the HaYom, sayings by the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. Okay, this is one of the details in how to put on the big talit, a big talit in the morning, as you cover your head and it's unnecessary to cover your head and your face down to your mouth. This is the laws of tzitzit. Any case, if you want to know what this means, you can write to me and I'll tell you what it is. During the days of Sfira, now we're in Sfira to Omer, right? 49 days. It's customary to study the tractate of the Talmud of Sota, that has also 49 pages, one page each day, in addition to one's regular study sessions. So very interesting. You can learn it, look at it in English if you want to. Tractate Sota. And now...
No, that's what HaYom is doing. Interesting.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. 1 second. Where am I here? Why can't I go to the next page? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but HaYom is a few days ahead.
Okay, good. A person, okay, in Chabad, we have this idea of a shliach. It's not a new idea. We see that in the beginning that Abraham he wanted to marry off his son, Yitzchak. And so he sent his servant, Eliezer, to be his shliach, to be his emissary. An emissary, a representative, a proxy, whatever you... An emissary is one with the one who sends him. This is similar to like an angel. When God says he also sends angels to do things, and they are just divine emissaries. And sometimes these angels are called by the name of God. How can they be called the name of God? God is the one who's creating everything. He's creating the angels. Because nevertheless, because the angel is doing what God wants and only what God wants, so he's called in the name of God. If so, with an angel, it's certainly true of the soul. In fact, the soul, the quality of this oneness is a higher order. In other words, our soul is here to be a shliach, to be an emissary, to be a representative, like it says other places. So if you realize that wherever you are, whatever you have, and whatever you're doing, that wherever you are, you're just doing your job as an emissary. Right? Somebody told me, and this is very in tune with the psychological teachings of Professor Viktor Frankl, that people want to feel responsible. They want to be connected to a meaning that's greater than themselves. And that's what the soul is. And you're connected to this meaning no matter where you are, no matter what you say. Even a person, the last moment of his life could be the most challenging and meaningful. Because the natural thing is a person, one moment before his life ends, is he's miserable and it feels bad. To defy that natural feeling and to be, thankful for whatever you had in the past and that you're alive right now. Even if you have 1 minute left in life, that 1 minute is a big gift. So the soul is always an emissary of God. No matter where you are, what situation God puts you in, your job is to carry out your mission to make the world a better place. Now, the Hasidim, they are emissaries of the Rebbe, who the Alter Rebbe, the first Rebbe. So if so, a Hasid should do his, in order for a Hasid to do what he's charged to do, which is empowered to do, when he does it, he's connected to the Rebbe, bound up in his whole being. There walks a Chassid, there eats a Chassid, there sleeps a Chassid. What's the point? Here we see in Judaism, very interesting story. The Torah tells us that Moses was the leader of the Jewish people. And all the Jewish people, they saw God at Mount Sinai. They saw God, they ate miracle bread, they ate manna from heaven. And even though they all saw God and they all felt God, but nevertheless, if they really wanted to serve God on their own terms, 99.9% they were wrong. The Jews didn't want to go into the land of Israel. The Jews wanted to return back to Egypt. The Jews, they didn't want to receive the Torah. It says they didn't want to cross over the Yam Suf. The Jews wanted to pick a new leader when Korach came along. Jews on their own, they follow their own egos. If a person really wants to serve the creator of the universe, so he has to follow a true leader like Moses. That's who the Rebbe is. At least that's what the Hasidim believe. And so just as a person, if he's an emissary and everything that he does is soul, if you really want to activate that fact, it's only by being connected to the Rebbe, because the Rebbe tells us what God wants in every situation that there is, like Moses. And without being connected to the Rebbe, so we want to go back to Egypt, and we don't want to receive the Torah, and we don't want to cross over the sea, and we don't want to enter the land of Israel, and we don't want to take it easy. So therefore, that's the idea of an emissary. He is bound with the Rebbe, bound up as an entire being. There walks a chassid, there eats a chassid, there sleeps a chassid. Okay, that now story. One moment, how do we do this over here? What happened? Oh,